Larry, what do you think of your coop? What's it made out of? So what tools would I suggest that you use when trying to take apart a pallet such as this one? Now, the very basic tools what you would need is a crowbar. Definitely need a crowbar, very handy for prying. A hammer and a pair of pliers, and they are the very basic things you need. But if you want to make your life one bit easier when trying to take apart these pallets, you could also go for something such as this right here. And this is basically it's a big chisel for splitting bricks and things like that, but it goes very well underneath these slats to get them off. A lump hammer, so then you can bang this bad boy in there. And then if you really want to be a bit fancy, just in case if there's a nail which has broke off that you can't get out, you can also use a nail punch. And this thing you just put on top of the nail end, bam, 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 through the wood it goes. That gets rid of your nails. Blunt and less tools as well. And last but not least, final thing, pair of gloves. A good thick pair of gloves is ideal because you're going to be banging, you're going to be prying, you're going to be everything else in. Anyway, let me show you how to take apart a pallet. Let me just give you a little bit of advice on pallets. Now, pallets can be treated differently, and well, you don't really want a chemically treated one if you're going to be standing there chopping it up with wood dust flying around you. Chemically treated wood dust doesn't really go well with the human body. So the best thing to look for, which I always look for, is a HT, which stands for heat treated, and it will be stamped somewhere on the pallet. It is literally just a mark HT, and there are other marks, you can search them up online, and some other ones you can use, but I always go for heat treated. Anyway, now if you've got a pallet a bit like this one, the best way to do it is to put it flat down with all the slats on the bottom. So flip it up the other way. Ooh, be quite heavy. And put those down. Now, I like to do this on top of another pallet because that way you don't damage the boards. Obviously, I understand there are lots of different types of pallet. A bit like these ones on the screen right now, there's a whole bunch of different types of pallet. This is just one of them. This is one of the more common ones, so I thought that would be a good thing to do a common one on the video, because this is one that you'll probably find. So grab your crowbar, and the first thing that you want to do is try and get all 9 blocks off of here. Now the blocks can either be made of wood or they can be made of chipped up wood and glued together. And thankfully I've got the chipped up glued together kind, which is the most easiest to take apart. Now if you got the wood one, just do the exact same thing, but it's just going to be a little bit more difficult. But yeah, I would always try and get the chipped up wood ones if possible. So now grab your crowbar and you just want to find one that looks a little bit loose. Now there may not be one that looks a little bit loose, but you want to just have a look around, Okay, this one looks a little bit loose in this corner. So, and when I say looks a little bit loose, it just got a little gap underneath them. So you want to just try and slide your crowbar underneath and just start prying. I'll show you this closer. So jam your crowbar underneath and just start prying. Give it a nice pry. There we go. So that one's up now. And because this one's up, this one over here is now lifted up as well. So this one's now lifted up as well. So let's just try and pry that. Now if you kind of get stuck, if you've got a little thing on the end of your bar, turn it around the other way. There we go. That one's out. So if you've got one that's being a little bit stubborn and you just can't quite get underneath it with your crowbar, then what you want to do is you want to grab your chisel thing. If you just put in online a masonry chisel, I'm pretty sure this will come up. And then you just want to try and put this underneath, right? And if that doesn't go under, that's fine, because you've got your hammer, which you can then go ahead bash underneath, grab underneath the handle, and then lift it up. And now we've created a little gap, which we can now go ahead and slide our crowbar under. And hopefully, with a bit of luck, that'll pry up. So I'm going to carry on doing this for all the rest of them, and then I will catch you once I've taken off this first top layer. Right, so once you've got that top bit off, the next stage is to remove all these sticking up nails. Obviously be careful when walking around these, they can be quite dangerous, but just tap them through, so hit them on the point of the nail and drive them back through where they come from. Do it very carefully, and if you have to hit them gently to start with to stop them from bending, then do that. Right, let's say if you do hit one a bit funny or it just bends like this, obviously you wouldn't do that, then that's where the pliers come in handy, because there's no way you're going to hit that through now. So you just want to basically bend it back upright and have another go. And you just want to drive them all through. Now that you managed to drive them all through, put the board up the other way, and then either use your hammer just to pull out the nails, or use your crowbar. Get more leverage with a crowbar. Now I just put my nails in a bucket, and as you can see, I've took a lot of pallets apart. Look at that. That one just come off straight away. Boom. Well, that's our first board. We'll be bored of this by the end. Get it? We're going to turn the board over, then we can hit the slats off. Now, if you're going to be using this for outdoor projects, such as chicken coops and other things, you might not worry about damaging the boards as much, so you can use a lump hammer to hit these down and knock them off. Whereas if you're going to use them for indoor projects or something like making a table for indoors, you might want to use a mallet, which is a wooden hammer. You will have the odd board that you just have to sacrifice, but if you've got a fire or you feel like having a fire outdoors, well, you got some wood. So now that you've got all these planks, a lot of them have nails in, well, you don't want them with nails in, so you got to get the nails out. Take your hammer, tap them all through. And then you flip the board over and you just pull the nails out. Simple as that. So I'm going to get on with that. It's going to take me a while. I'll put you guys on a time lapse. Enjoy the music. Happy days. So it's good that you've managed to get this far and you've got all these boards. That's excellent. But look, there's some more boards behind me and we're not going to leave them because they're just as good as these boards. So let's go ahead and get these boards off of here. Put these somewhere safe. Pop them up here. Oh, yeah. So these are actually even easier to get off than before, because we haven't got them wedged in anywhere. So the best way to get these off is to use our lump hammer. And you just want to, you know, either stand on it like this. Be careful of your ankles though, or like here or whatever, and then just bash it. And you can keep bashing it, but you'll end up bending the nails. So you want to get your crowbar under there and lift it up. Boom, and as simple as that. And you want to do that all the way round until you've got all the blocks off. Lovely jubbly. Obviously be careful of these nails because they will go through your foot. And yeah. Well, I hope you've learned something from this tutorial today on how to take apart a pallet. And this pallet gave me quite a lot of timber, and they always do really. And it is good timber as well. It can be used for several different things, including household furniture, to chicken coops, to other things like simple stakes that go into the garden when you're growing stuff in the summertime. But anyway, Larry loves his coop, which is made from pallet wood as well. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and check out the videos that are on the screen right now. You guys are peace, and I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.